You need to be warm for this next guy. Where we're starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You love it. I know.
I'm happy you saved this for dude number one on my day.
I did. I saved them for you.
I appreciate that.
We mapped it out to make sure
you did.
that you were on here with the number 8 quarterback in football.
Yes.
Tom Brady, which I guess a lot of people will be mad, I guess.
Of course. Yeah.
I don't know why, but holy shit, the guy's 45 and he's a top 10 quarterback in football. All right? There's that. He is the GOAT. Okay, he's the GOAT. I've changed my stance. You know, people have heard me say, and I used to say, I don't know if he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He is. I can't deny that anymore. I'm not going to be selfish and continue to like bang my head on the wall. And no. You talk about consistent greatness, what he does, all that. It's special. And I think the thing that's even more special to me about Brady and what he's doing right now, and I'm more amazed of, is he is more aggressive and more of a playmaker at the quarterback position now than maybe he's been the last 4 or 5, 6 years, even going into New England.
Do you think he's better than he's ever been?
I think he's up there. I think it's very yes, I do. I'm not going to say ever, but I think what we've seen, let's just say, over the last, let's say that second run of Super Bowls with the Patriots and now into this, I think it definitely rivals his best days there at that last second stretch with the Patriots.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing to me is, even when they were going to 3 out of 4 Super Bowls there at the end with the Patriots, he still played a game that at times I thought was, hey, he's very conservative and he doesn't have to make, many plays outside the realm of the offense. And, at times to maybe a little too conservative. Hey, make a play, make a throw, hang in there a half a second more, push the ball down the field. Felt like maybe he was playing politics of the sport to a degree. Also, maybe, hey, he knew he was with the Patriots and, hey, Josh McDaniels will dial up a good play the next play.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be aggressive. I think that was part of it. But, Paul, I mean, you watch him closely like I do. He's now makes more throws and changes the game in more positive ways from the Bucs than I feel like, he ever did the last few years with the Patriots, just because of, hey, Bruce Arians, the talent around him. I do think Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich got him to break out of the shell, to go like, stop worrying
to be more aggressive.
Yeah, stop worrying if you throw for 73.4%. Let's throw for 66% and just be more dangerous of an offense and have teams scared. And then you're making more big plays. But maybe the ball hit the ground once. To me, he's more dangerous that way. And he's a more aggressive decision maker. His arm is still towards the top of football as far as standing there in the pocket and making throws. And because of that, he still makes a lot of game-changing plays just with his right arm and his decision making.
I have a page of notes here that I saw your ranking, went back and watched some of the key games this year. And you've kind of answered these a little bit, but I want to make sure that they're framed and people understand.
Please do.
I think they're on people's minds.
Yeah.
They both begin with why. The first one, why did he improve from 10 last year to 8 this year?
Yeah. I think the big thing I looked at more than anything is, last year, and again, maybe this played into it, I think early in the year, he was like a little bit playing the politics, learning the new offense.
When you say play the politics, you mean exactly
what?
What?
I mean, he wasn't going to make any dicey decisions because it might get back blamed on me.
Yeah.
And I think what happened, in my opinion, at least, is they got hot at the end of the 2020 season. They won the Super Bowl. And we got a guy like Bruce Arians and Leftwich always prodding them and poking. Come on, push it down the field.
Right.
Hang in there. Make the big play. We drew this up. You like the play all week. Do it. I think the pressure of, wait, I'm on a new team. It worked. I won the Super Bowl. It kind of let him go like, wait, I'm taking my best cuts here during this football game. I am. And I'm going to go. And the thing I love about Brady compared to maybe even years in New England that I love is, to the politics point, he goes down swinging now. Mm-hmm. To me, they're some of the games like we've seen with the Saints or even the Rams playoff game.
Yeah.
I think Brady 4 years ago crawls into a shell a little bit and is like, oh, man, I threw 3 interceptions or I've thrown 2 interceptions. I haven't played well. I'm going to, just make sure we don't lose any more because of me. And I feel like now he goes, that. I'm going to throw my fucking heater, and we're going to win this game. I'm not going to, like, just knock the play to not have it blamed on me. I'm going to bring us back. And what had happened in some of those games, it's lending itself to more interceptions. Sure. But I think there's other games we can look at and go, yeah, but if he had that old mindset, they don't know if they come back against some of these teams. I don't know if they make the Rams game close and all of that.
Right.
And that, to me, is because, yeah, Arians, the comfort around him, I think they've given him confidence. And I think, honestly, he's become a little bit more of a confident gunslinger type of player, for lack of a better way to say it.
His 2 seasons with the Bucs, I mean, basically he's thrown for 10,000 yards, which is amazing.
Yep.
His completion percentage, you talked about, he's more willing to be risky. He's still at 2/3. He's right at 67%.
Yeah, right.
Touchdown to interception ratio better than 3-1. So within all that, he's
more
still
interceptions, but more touchdowns.
There you go.
So there it goes.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
I feel like when I watch him, the 2 things that stand out right now in his years in Tampa, one, the conviction is as good as anybody. It's like he's standing there line of scrimmage, cadence, yes, he's barking it out, but he's got this, I know what you're doing, I know where the ball's supposed to go, give me the ball.
Right.
He's got that thing.
No doubt.
And his talent to deliver it still is as good as it's ever been.
His effect on the team, which is a huge part of my thing, his leadership is real.
Yeah.
It's maybe as big as anybody in football.
Right.
You know, with what he can give during the week and game planning and everything.
Yeah.
Then to your top point, the leadership on the field, giving the team confidence. Hey, it's fucking Tom Brady. He's our quarterback. We got a chance to win.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we're playing a crazy defense. Oh, Brady will figure it out at the line of scrimmage like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And give us confidence and get us in the right play.
Right.
So his effect on the football team, you know, and it's something that I took into more of, I think, an account this year in my rankings than maybe years past. There's another reason I would say he maybe bumped him up a spot or two.
Yeah.
Just because I kind of readjusted my thought on that to a degree as well.
I feel like, too, the kind of box that he's playing in. So, like, if you can picture north to south, kind of line of scrimmage to 20 to 25 yards.
Yeah.
And, like, now the full length east-west. So, north, south, east-west. He's playing with a bigger box of what he's looking at with backs, receivers, and tight ends than he did in New England.
Agreed. He makes you defend more of the field now than he used to.
Right.
That to me is where he's become more dangerous. That was the point, and I think that's the best way to say it. Yeah, because again, I think New England, they were a little more tactical, and of course maybe that's partly them influencing him. But I do think, for lack of a better way to say it, Arians and Leftwich kind of took the shackles off him a little bit to where, like, hey, if you make a mistake, so what?
Right.
We're okay. We just came from Jameis Winston. We're used to mistakes.
Right.
Like, we want some plays. We didn't get you here to throw 4-yard dink and dunk passes to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Right.
I mean, they're awesome. We want to throw 45-yard passes to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Yeah. And he bought into that, and he's changed that way.
Right.
And, you made all the points there. His end of the game clutch ability is still maybe as good as anybody in the sport.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. I use the phrase a lot. You've heard me say he goes down swinging now. He can do more with more. That's the one thing I'll come in with Brady. And to why he's number 8 and maybe not number 3 or 4.
That's my next why.
Okay, yeah,
why
let's go there.
Higher?
Right. Well, because he can't do more with less. That would be I would argue that the guys that we have here in front of him, you could put them on lesser teams. And again, we're all on the same team here for the sake of Chris Sims' top 40.
Yeah.
Where I'd go, when we play some of those games where we're a little overmatched or our scheme isn't as good and we're not those guys are going to be able to still make it happen a little bit more than Tom Brady. And as you saw in some of the games, and I've made this point, where they lose this year or the year before, it really comes down to one thing with him. His only flaw is pressure around him, people around him.
Yeah.
You hear me say this thing, size is a skill. Mm-hmm. When he's comfortable and gotten in a rhythm and been protected early, he will stand there and take some shots and throw the ball over the line. And the size is a skill. He can make plays, again, like that Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, where they're in the pocket and people are around them. Brady can still make unbelievable throws down the field where I'd go, those guys can't do that to his capacity because they just don't have the size, the levers, the hand he does, all of that. So he's really good. But the issue now compared to maybe some of these other guys we're going to talk about and stuff is when it starts hairy from the start of the game, New Orleans both times this year, the Rams game and the playoff game. It's hairy for a while, and he might never settle in, and he might never really make a good throw, and then it starts to make his decisions bad too. And I know all quarterbacks are going to be affected by pressure, but I'm telling you, the guys that are in front of him are less affected and can still do more in some of those situations than Brady, and that's why I think he's 8 and they're 7 ahead of him.
I think to accentuate that, and I noticed the same thing. I'm sitting here nodding my head to make it even clearer. When it does get bad, it happens so quickly.
It does, and it's abrupt, and he's jumpy.
Yes, he goes from the conviction I talked about, and the talent, wash, rinse, repeat, 18-yard out route, 10-yard in route. It just keeps coming, and he kills you.
Exactly.
But the moment it starts to collapse in the pocket a little bit, he goes from best quarterback I've ever seen to this offense isn't going to score again today.
It happens like that. It happens like that.
It happens like that.
It happens like that because it's all of a sudden it's you go people go back, watch the Washington, watch the New Orleans games, it goes into let me get the ball out of my hand quickly, and it's just like, well, I know you were pressured the 2 plays before that, but there was no pressure there. You didn't need to throw the ball into the flat there.
Watch the Philadelphia game where they killed him. He was terrific most of the game. They had this stretch of 3 or 4 series, and I know Wirfs was hurt.
Yeah,
the pocket was caving in on him, but it is a split second where it's like this dude's in control. They might score 80 points to. That's it.
Yeah,
they're done.
I know that's to me a little bit of the only issue he has in his game.
And
right
he comes
now.
out of it.
He comes out of it. I know.
But those pockets of time show up.
They show up, and there was a part here where I thought about making him 9 and Prescott 8, because one of my things is like Prescott on the Buccaneers versus the Rams in that game. If he was on they don't go down 27-3. They don't. He's not going to be as flustered early on by the pressure. He's going to make a few plays within that pressure and settle the team down. So that's where, but ultimately I thought, man, Brady's just more consistently better in every other area to where I put him ahead of him. But yes, I think that is the thing that you worry about. And then, what people lose translation. Yeah, I know, hey, he's under pressure, and I know it's never easy. But like I talk about, it affects his decision-making. It affects his accuracy. Of course, he can't make plays outside the pocket, so he can't get out of trouble there. Right. I got to dock him points for that. I mean, the guys we're going to talk about here in a minute all can do those things. I'm sorry. So that's who. And then I think the other thing that can be a little annoying or the negative with this conversation with him is that, yes, even with that same thing, okay, it's been pressure, boom. All right, you stepped up, you moved in the right spot in the pocket. Hey, there's Evans going across the middle of the field for a 20-yard gain. Hang in there and throw it. But he's already moved on to the short throw, even though he's bought himself time with the the pocket and made the right move. He doesn't give it a chance now to go, wait, let me look back downfield. I got it again. Yeah. And that's not all the time. Against some of the middle class and lower teams, he does what I'm talking about. It's just these games where, hey, the defense is a little more ferocious, and it gets a little scary and hairy for a second. Think about the Packers NFC Championship game. The year before that, we had a few moments of that as well. And, of course, the Saints games that year as well. They're all the same thing, and it's hard. I don't know if he's going to correct this right now at his age. He's in a little bit of a preservation mode, and he's 45 years old. Nobody wants to get hit. I'm 42, and I'm 41, I don't want to get hit, let alone what I'm going to feel like when I'm 45.
Couple of things to think about here.
Yeah.
As we before we move on from Tom, things he's without. Okay, so Bruce Arians not on the sideline anymore. Right. He moves upstairs. O.J. Howard is gone. Antonio Brown is gone.
Yeah.
Both of his guards are gone.
Right.
You could argue none of those are that big a deal, but as a group, it could affect him.
Definitely.
What do you think?
Definitely. Shaq Mason, they traded for him. They need him to play well. I do think Gronk will be back.
Yeah.
I think that's inevitable.
I didn't bring it up because I just figured at some point
I think it's going to happen too. I do. Godwin, he's not going to be healthy right away to start the year. But still, I think this is still one of the best teams in football, period. The offensive line is still big and overpowering in a lot of ways. Yeah, the other guard position, they got to figure that out a little bit. But, with Evans, Russell Gage was a really quiet, awesome signing by them in free agency. Will they maybe be as explosive in the pass game to start the year? Probably not. They need Godwin to get back and get going there, but I still think this is going to be a dangerous offense. And, come on, Their defense is the real deal.
Yeah.
It's loaded. I mean, there's not a position on their defense where you don't look at and go, that's towards the top of football.
You can't talk yourself into thinking they would be anything but like near the top or at the top in January when it all starts.
Exactly right.
They'll be there in the running.
I would be shocked. There's one of the most complete, well-built football teams in the game, and Brady is still playing awesome football. So I would expect them, yes, to be right there when it's all said and done.
There it is, flamethrower.
There it is.
Out of the chute.
Boom.
Tom Brady at 8.
Brady, the GOAT.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.